Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about a hidden accessibility feature I recently discovered across all of the main Apple devices, which has straight up transformed my ability to concentrate and get work done effectively. So for the longest time, I have always been somebody who loves to listen to music whilst they get work done. For me, it just helps me to not only get into the zone, but it also makes the process of working a lot more enjoyable and fun, which in turn helps to reduce the friction it takes for me to actually sit down and get work done. However, there's a trade-off with this approach because whilst listening to music is undoubtedly enjoyable, it can also be a bit of a distraction. And so there's this book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. It's quite a popular book within the whole productivity niche, and in it Cal Newport talks about this idea of competing senses. And so let's say I was writing a report whilst listening to some music in the background. Both your visual and audio senses will be competing for your attention, which is going to limit how effectively you can concentrate on the visual piece of work, which is your report. And from experience, what I found is that when I'm listening to genres like rock or hip hop, they can often be quite distracting. And so what I would usually do is listen to something that's a lot more chill, like R&B or just film music. And this is how I used to work for the longest time, until I recently discovered a new hidden accessibility feature that works across all of Apple's main devices, the iPhone, the iPad, the MacBook, and that hidden feature is called background sounds. And as the name suggests, this feature allows you to turn on a number of different background sounds, like rain, ocean, dark noise. And what's great about this feature is that you don't need a subscription to Apple Music or Spotify to access it. You don't need an internet connection to play them. Because these sounds are all stored locally on your device and they have no endpoint for the track, you can in theory play them for as long as you like, whether that's 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 days if that's something you do. The only thing you need to make sure you do is that you turn off the background sounds once you're done with them, because otherwise they will play in the background forever, and I'd imagine that could kill your battery life if you're not careful. And so personally, my favourite background sound is the rain sound. It just puts me into this warm, cozy state that makes me want to get work done without distracting me in the way that a traditional song would. And it's become my go-to background sound for getting deep work tasks done, like video editing or writing up these scripts. And accessing this feature is pretty simple. It works across most of your Apple devices on iOS, iPadOS and macOS. So if you're on an iPhone or an iPad, all you need to do is go into the settings app of your device, scroll down to accessibility, find the audio and visual page, and once you're in, you'll have the option to turn on background sounds, and you can also choose the type of sound you want, which by default is set to rain. Most of them should also be downloaded by default as well, but if not, you can always select to download them. You can also adjust things like the volume and toggle whether or not you want sounds playing if you have other audio playing as well. So I guess this is the closest thing we have on iOS and iPadOS to having multiple streams of audio playing at the same time. And I guess you can also stop sounds playing when the device is locked so it doesn't kill your battery. So let me just turn that on now. And it's a similar procedure on the Mac. So if you open system settings, go to availability, audio, background sounds, and at the bottom of the page you should have the same settings. However, there's also a much quicker way that you can access this feature, and that's through Control Center. So on my iPhone or iPad, if I head into the settings app again, but this time go to Control Center, if you scroll down, there should be an option to add a hearing toggle. And so now if you open up Control Center and tap on this icon at the bottom, you can press this ear icon to toggle on background sounds. And you can adjust the volume and the sound that you want all from within Control Center. And so there's never a need to enter the settings app again. And it works similarly on the Mac. If you go into Control Center on System Settings, you can set hearing to show in both Control Center as well as the menu bar. Again, making it really easy to turn on. And this is all just part of an aim to reduce the friction that it takes for us to use this feature and get work done. So yeah, that brings us to the end of today's short video. Let me know in the comments down below whether or not you found this feature helpful. And if you did, consider leaving a like. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.